All right, welcome back to the H-525 podcast with Corey and myself, Sean, as always.
How's it going, guys?
And this is, I believe, the 7th episode.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right. And yeah, we got quite a bit to talk about, such as the Nintendo 2DS that came up a few weeks back, and also the news about the Olympics happening in Tokyo in 2020, is it?
Yes, 2020.
Yeah. And I think a few more, but we'll mention them along the way. So I just want to bring up the news about the 2DS. Did you read up about the Nintendo 2DS?
I saw a lot of hands-on, well, not necessarily hands-on, like first impression kind of things.
Yeah.
It didn't seem too... I don't know. I personally didn't feel very interested in it, so I didn't dig really deep into it. I think it's an interesting concept, an interesting idea on Nintendo's part, but I don't know. I like where they had been going, kind of with that clamshell style.
Yeah,
with the folders. Yeah.
This baby right here.
Yeah.
I got the 3DS right here. Yeah, for me, I thought at first it was like a joke, either a very late April Fool's joke or a very early one. But anyways, but it's not a joke, and they're really serious with this. And for those who don't know, the 2DS is basically a sort of a downgrade of a 3DS technically, because it doesn't have the 3D, this stereoscopic 3D capability. You know, on the 3DS you can turn it off and on, but the 2DS doesn't have it at all. Yeah. And the body is just one thing where you don't fold it at all. It's just like one solid device.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard it's aimed more towards younger gamers.
Yeah, I mean that kind of made sense. I read that also.
Yeah. At first I was like, okay, why even do this? Like, what's going on? And then I found out that it's aimed for kids. So I thought, well, I was like, okay, I guess I can see that. And
that works.
It doesn't work. His keys fell on the ground. Initially I had negative reactions. I thought it was pretty stupid. But yeah, now that I know it has a pretty valid reason that it's aimed for younger kids, and I understand that the fucking kids would easily break the 3DS. It's not the most robust device out there. So
yeah, I mean, but it's hard to make a device like that, like super robust. You know what I mean? Without making it a literal freaking brick.
Yeah, it's like the thing is like a brick. It's kind of like a cross between the 3DS and then the old gray brick old ass Game Boy.
Yeah.
That was like that first came out.
Yeah.
In existence. For the most part, I really don't care for it too much now. But yeah, initially I didn't. I had a negative outlook to it. And it's fine, and it's funny how it's coming out on the same day the new Pokemon is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Pokemon X and Y. And yeah, that was really funny because Pokemon is more of a kids game, really, but it's fun for everyone. But yeah, they'll definitely make some sales with the 2DS because of course a lot cheaper than the 3DS.
Yeah. And
and as said before, it's for kids, so I think there's a big chance that the parents will get the 2DS rather than the 3DS.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Have you played around with the 3DS at all or no?
Yeah, I've played with them before. Yeah, I personally like them. They're fun. It's a different kind of gaming experience than the last thing I ever used. The last Game Boy I ever had was a Game Boy Advance. All right. So,
yeah.
I'm pretty old school when it comes to Game Boy, but I like 3DS. They're fun.
3DS.
You can do what you want with them. But then I keep like looking at 2DS and I keep like really concerned like that it's just gonna get scratched to hell because there's like nothing.
There's no screen protector.
There's no screen protection really.
Yeah, the folding. Yeah, the folding is like it acts as the screen protector. So that you don't have to actually buy a third party accessory for the 3DS. But with this one, you don't fold it. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they'll come out with a case of some kind.
Yeah.
Like the iPad or whatever. So you have a little like flap to cover the screen, but initially, yeah, it's gonna get scratched up. Knowing what kids can do with a fucking device. You know what's funny? Like nowadays, like fucking kids have iPads.
Yeah.
And it's all they like play around with.
That's so strange to me. Like, I've met 6-year-old children who can use iPads and iPhones like better than I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of weird. But then I started thinking about it. It's like they intuitively learn how to do it like when they're little kids.
Right.
Whereas like us, we had to learn it later on.
Yeah. They're like, it's like not like we had to jump from like the flip phone to the touchscreen phone.
Yeah, like we've had to make technological jumps along the way.
We had to make jumps.
Whereas they just kind of are like, that's the first thing.
That's the first thing they encountered. So
yeah, it's hilarious. Like, okay, yeah. See, the very first like smarter phone, if you will, that I ever had was an LG Voyager. Like, and if you guys remember that like people thought that was badass because it was a flip open phone. It was touchscreen on the outside.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was like tactile feedback, tactile feedback. Yeah. And you flipped it open, you had the keyboard, full on keyboard inside, another screen right there. Like that was freaking amazing when it came out. And that was like, that took me a little while to get used to that.
Right.
And then like we went from that all the way up to what we have now.
Right.
So it's just so crazy.
I remember my first touchscreen phone was like some LG phone that I totally
LG chocolate.
Just not the chocolate.
Envy.
But, not the Envy. It's I think it's right there. It's like sitting.
Oh yeah, one of those.
Yeah, and it's like sitting under the my Motorola Razr. Dude, that phone was. It's like one of those things that mark the decade pretty much.
Yeah.
When it comes to technology. Yeah, I remember owning the Motorola Razr.
Those are great phones. I still have mine too.
Those look really cool.
I literally have it as a backup phone. Like, should anything happen, like, I have an iPhone now. Like, something happens to this bad boy, I'm going back to my Razr. Not, like, I have a Droids, like, the original Motorola Droid. I still have that phone. Right. I still have my Voyager. Like, I have all those phones. Like, if I needed to, like, if something happened to this one, I could activate that and have a phone. You know what I mean? But, like, those aren't the ones I'm going to pick. I'm picking the Razr because I know it will make phone calls. It'll still make text messages.
Right.
Like, I guess I can get on the internet with it.
You can get on the internet.
It'll be a really crappy interface, but right. I'll still have it.
Yeah. I back to that touchscreen phone I had, from the LG. It was like, it was like more. It was more analog than anything.
Gotcha.
It was like, it relied on the actual push of the finger.
Yeah.
Rather than just sensors and all that stuff. But like, I remember it had an antenna so you can watch TV on it, and it was really fucking cool.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, and that was a really neat phone. I definitely put that to use when I was in during my first 2 years in college, and that was like the time when iPhones didn't even exist still. I don't think. Or
the iPhone came out in 07.
07. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
they were
so
still.
That was our junior, going into senior year of high school.
Yeah, that's pretty much when. Yeah, it's kind of like when it's like that time where like the iPhone wasn't really like catching on so much.
Yeah, it was still like
kind of relatively.
It was still new.
It was still kind of young and fresh. But it really did catch on once we went into college. Yeah. And then there's the iPhone 5. I think we can go dive into that one next.
Okay,
Nice little segue. So they unveiled the new iPhone, which is the iPhone 5S.
And the iPhone 5C.
C.
So they got those both models coming out.
Yeah, so they're both coming out, or they already came out, was it?
Yeah, well, they announced them yesterday. The 5C is available for pre-order the 13th. So it will ship on the 20th, I believe, is their timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 5S goes on sale on the 20th. So interesting move on Apple's part to not do pre-order for the 5S. But I think what that does is that gives consumers a chance to actually, make sure that they don't get locked out of a pre-order kind of situation.
Right, yeah.
So they can just go,
Go
right
and
in
get
to buy.
get the phone when they actually get to the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like the 5C is like the pretty much the cheaper version of the the 5S or the 5 in general.
Yeah. Well, interesting. Like to me, what the 5C looks like is they literally just took the iPhone 5 and then took off because they're basically the same design. Again, they took off this metal outside, where the antenna is supposedly.
Right.
It basically looks like they took that off and then shoved the phone inside of those polycarbonate plastic cases. It's literally what it looks like they did with the iPhone 5, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, that's what people wanted anyway, was those colors. But
right.
My personal opinion, though, on the colors, they're not. I don't know.
You're not quite sure about them?
I'm not quite sure about the colors for the 5C. I logically can't think that I would like the blue is not a good looking blue.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. Like, I'm not gonna get a green or a yellow. It's like a light blue.
It's like a baby blue.
Yeah, it's a baby blue. The red is kind of more like a.
It's like a creamy, like a salmon.
Salmon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a light red, closer to pink. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna get one, I'd get the white one.
Yeah, white one.
And then I'm kind of just like, well, why the hell don't I just go get like a silver iPhone 5S? Point. But
well, I mean, I think it's a good move on Apple because they try to reach out to the people who can't afford the smartphone. Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I was following a lot of the live coverage of this event through the blogs, and then there's also a weekly podcast, I guess you will, that I also follow, called Tech Habit Weekly, which is really cool. And they were doing their show at the same time as following all the coverage, so I was getting their info on the play-by-play. Mm-hmm. And the thing they said best is if you're somebody new to the smartphone market, if you've not had a smartphone before or you've not had a good smartphone before, the iPhone 5C would be a really good move on your part, because for $100 you get into the 16 gigabyte phone,
right?
Which is that's good. That's really good.
And I'm reading the specs right now, and it really does. It has a pretty decent camera, 8 megapixel.
Yeah.
And the A6 chip, the 4-inch Retina display, of course the LTE, and it'll come with iOS 7, and all the stuff that the 5 has pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But for the 5S, what do you think about that one?
I think I want one. Honestly, I think I want one. I'm coming from a 4S. I definitely, this is what I love about Apple, is I almost guarantee you they've got way more stuff they could have done in launching a phone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They've got way more stuff that they could have launched in their phone. But they subtly do this, you know what I mean? That's what I personally think the S's stand for in the model names. It's subtle. Personally, it probably might stand for something else, but to me that's what it is. Like there was the iPhone 4 and the 4S, and the 4S was just a slight revision of the four. You know what I mean? And people are like, oh no, the S stands for Siri, and I was like, Siri is honestly just a subtle addition, you know, to the four.
Right.
You know, it's very subtle things. What Apple's giving you features that they believe and can feel that consumers want. They're not just giving you technology for the blatant sake of technology in a phone. They're just slowly putting those features out there into the phone so that when they finally get to the point where it could be an iPhone 7 for all I know.
Right.
That is like the ultimate pinnacle of smartphone. But, you know, what they've done in the 5S is pretty awesome. I think the whole fingerprint scanner, everything, the Touch ID.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty badass. And, you know, a lot of people are all like, oh, great, you know, names the fingerprint database and everything out there. You know what? Look, if that's a big concern for you, then you're probably never going to get a real job in life, because I've been fingerprinted for several of my jobs. So my shit's already in the system.
Yeah.
That was a valid point that I saw somebody bring up earlier, and some stuff I was watching and reading.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was a good point on their part. They're like, you know, I'm gonna say I'm gonna trust Apple here.
Yeah.
That they're not gonna do anything with my fingerprint that I don't want them to. And it's not like you were forced to use the Touch ID.
It's an option.
It's an option.
Yeah.
You know.
There's plenty of options. I'm sure there's ways to keep your phone locked, including a password, an actual passcode, or the password system where you do the sort of a motion with a finger. Yeah. But now you have this option where you can use your fingerprint instead of having to do that. So that way your phone is much more secure.
Yeah.
Instead of because if you when you're using the motion activated one, you kind of can see.
You can see it, the smear.
The smear, finger, yeah.
The oils
from your fingerprint, because your hands leave oils and shit. Yeah, and you totally see what their motion, their passcode is pretty much. And yeah, same for the one with the numbers in it, and you see how what prints are on the numbers, so you can tell pretty much what the passcode is. So I think it's really cool that they actually added the fingerprint activated lock for your phone, and one way or another they're gonna have your information anyway. So I don't know why people are kind of jumpy about it. Yeah. Especially at the airport where especially now, they actually ask you to fingerprint, for your thumbprint or whatever. Yeah. So it's I don't know why people are, naggy about it. They already know all about you anyway. So
yeah.
According to Snowden. I don't know what happened to that motherfucker right now, but back on the the 5S. For me, I'm not gonna get the phone, but I think it's cool that Apple is putting these features, like the fingerprint lock, and it's pretty cool, overall, that they're slowly adding in the iPhone instead of just shoving it all up in your face. Kind of just easing it up a bit, I guess period, by period or whatever. Me right now, I have the Galaxy 4S, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Right now it's a really solid phone, especially jumping from the Galaxy S2 to the S4. It's wow, especially on the camera is very nice. The response is much smoother. So overall, it's a much smoother phone. And the display is very nice. I looked at YouTube videos a bit with it. Yeah, and the quality is great, and the design. I like the design for it. And I like the colors that came with it. White is either white or a nice dark blue, and I went with the dark blue. For me, I like blue. So that's the thing about me. So despite me not getting the 5S. I still think it's a really solid phone for people who love Apple or whatever, or who love the iPhone series. So they'll be able to have a nice robust phone for the next generation or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Let me close the door.
I don't know.
So, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I got it.
Don't die.
Yeah, I got it. All right. I'm gonna crack it open for a bit.
What does the fox say?
Oh. Yeah, it's copyright. No, I was gonna. Let's see what we're gonna talk about next, other than the ones I brought up before. Let's see.
What does it? That shit's just stuck in my head.
Okay. I found a news article about this is some painful news. And not in exactly a horrific way, like something like no one died basically, but it's funny, and it's both funny and painful. Anyways, I first found this on from Just Kidding Films. They do like a podcast / like
their news
channel thing, and they had a bit where they talk about I forgot how old the dude was, but I think it was around his 70s, and he stuck up a fork in his penis. Yeah, so there's not much to it, but like the fact that it happened is like, what?
I don't understand.
And they actually had the X-ray of
I saw that.
the man's penis, and then like it's not the pointy end in, but luckily, but but it was like the other end up there, and then like so he pretty much had a nice Wolverine claws out of his dick. But anyways, the way I had to take it out was, oh my gosh, they said that in quote that they used a lot of force and a lot of lubes. Yeah.
Make it stop.
Yeah. It's I don't know, what do you think about that?
There are some weird ass people in this world, that is for sure. I think that's like the top two strangest things that I've seen brought up. And the first one is shit, I can't remember. I don't remember if it was up the guy's butt or up his
dick hole.
Yeah. I think it was up his butt, but like a guy like had a snake.
Oh, I think it was up his dick hole.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was like a little snake up his butt. People, look, man, y'all gotta get some help. That's all I'm saying. Alright, alright. Whenever I'm watching television, it is without fail that I will see a commercial for catheters. And if you don't know what a catheter is, it's like a tube that you insert like into your bladder, basically.
Right.
Like they get put in when you're in the hospital, but sometimes people have to do them at home and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like they self-cath is what they call it. And
commercials
like that, freaking just nope, not into nope, just make it go away. Like it makes me physically hurt. Like I cringe.
You basically have to shut up your pee hole.
Yeah.
With this like plastic tube, so you can pee into a bucket, pretty much.
Basically.
And
that's like medically accepted. Like that is something to help you, and that makes me freaking cringe. So the thought of people sticking forks up their penis holes.
And also snakes.
You gotta stop that shit. You gotta stop it, because it makes me hurt.
I heard that. Oh, you know what's even more painful? I heard that they put a safety pin up their dick hole.
Oh no! Make it stop. Make it stop.
And also carrots.
Oh, good God. Oh, make it stop. Make it go away.
I think pencils too.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
Yeah, all the long pointy objects pretty much.
I can't handle that. That's just some... If you
a fucking safety pin,
Yeah,
man.
that's some weird shit. That's for some crazy ass people who have got some serious, severe mental issues. You should get help immediately. I'm sorry. Get that shit taken care of. If you enjoy doing that, I will not be your friend.
Yep.
That's just the way it works.
Yeah. There's some crazy shit that happens with shoving something up the dick hole. So,
Yeah, that is just
like, you
not
think,
okay.
Like, if you thought Ryan Dunn from Jackass having to shove a toy car up his butt was but was bad, you haven't heard about this one. So yeah, shoving a fork up your dick hole. So
That is some shit.
man, like, I can't imagine if he had to go take a piss while doing that, you know. Okay, I got up there, he might, the chances are he's a masochist, okay, so
Yeah.
like he probably liked that pain having to put that fork up his dick hole, but there's probably a chance somewhere that he had to go, he had that feeling that he had to go to the bathroom. He had to go take a piss.
I can't even. I can't even.
I know, right? And then imagine if like they actually pull out the fucking fork, just piss, just fucking like busts out. Oh man, that's fucking gross. That would definitely be a mess. Okay, I think we can move on from that. Yeah, like pretty much there's not really much to go into other than the headline itself. So, let's see. Let me bring up some other stuff. Let's see. I think there's something about the Xbox One. Let's see. Gold membership bullshit. And let's see.
Oh, the pre-order supply sold out. That's funny.
Oh yeah, I just found. Oh yeah, I just found that on the way. I guess those pre-orders are going up. I guess. Well, probably after the bullshit that was taken off. Let's see. There's something about people complaining about the I think there's like features that you need Xbox Live Gold for, and which is like basically like the top notch membership when it comes to Xbox Live. So and of course you have to pay for that. Let's see.
That controller, though. PS4 controller.
Yeah.
BT dubs.
Okay. I think. Let's see. You'll be able to pay for. Okay, so it says here that one of them. There's something that there's like some of the key features on your Xbox One is required by having Xbox Live Gold membership. So basically. You don't have like a nice basic package pretty much, and you need Xbox Live Gold in order to access to those needed features pretty much. That makes the Xbox One the device to have. One of them, I believe, according to this article, is sharing and live streaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then
the DVR feature,
and then also I think Netflix is Netflix is one of the things that doesn't come with in a basic package unless you have gold membership. Kind of sucks. Wow. Let's see, anything else? And of course the PS4 doesn't have that bullshit. So Okay, so I'm reading the gold features chart, and it says unrivaled multiplayer gaming, premium entertainment apps, Internet Explorer on your TV, exclusive deals and special offers, the NFL on Xbox, One Guide, game DVR, and Skype. So it looks like you need those features. You need the gold membership in order to access to those features. Wow, it kind of sucks.
That's so funny because like those features are basically the only difference.
Right.
And so don't like, like, do I really need those features? You know, you kind of just make the decision like, do I really need those features? And I guess I don't need an Xbox One or
right.
Live Gold.
Yeah.
I'll just get an Xbox 360 and be happy with that.
Yeah, I know, right? I guess gold membership thing is like the big highlight is that in order to access to your DVR, pretty much you need gold membership, which is huge bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow, that's pretty unfortunate for those who want to get the Xbox One. So, I more of the bullshit train rolls over. So
yeah. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, really sucks for those people. Oh, hello. There's more about Miley Cyrus.
God, freaking weirdo.
It says that Miley Cyrus goes without underwear and outrageous sheer pants.
It really. I didn't click on all the pictures, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
It's whatever. I mean, it's not.
It's nothing outrageous.
Yeah,
anyway,
I think the headline blows it out a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, that's from her new video.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at the images right now.
Yeah, it's her licking a sledgehammer.
Okay, yeah. It's like
a weird video.
Hmm.
It's really kind of a shame that music video is as odd as it is because the song's actually not that bad.
But it's just the music video.
The music video, like, and you're watching it, you're kind of just like, the fuck is this girl doing?
Is that the one where she first twerks the first time or no?
No. This is the one that just came out. She's like swinging around naked on a wrecking ball.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Oh, speaking of twerking, have you watched that the worst twerking?
The
fail?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm so happy. Like, freaking.
It was really cool. Like, and funny because like, for those who don't know, there was this video that blew up on YouTube, and it was like called like the worst twerk fail or something. And it was basically this chick was doing all these like outrageous twerking tricks and stuff, and including one doing upside down, and her legs were on a door, and that door was open by her roommate, I guess, and she was pushed over to a table which was full of candles, and she was lit on fire.
Yep.
And the video immediately cuts off from there. And what happened was on Jimmy Kimmel Live was that he revealed that the video was actually a fake, and it was actually set up by Jimmy himself, along with some
stunt woman,
stunt woman, and other staff and whatever. But yeah, for the most part though, I think I believe it was Kimmel's idea, or he had a big contribution to it, and like pretty much he trolled millions of people.
Yeah.
So.
He did such a good. It's so funny because this morning, one of my friends, like, you know how they pop up on those random like pages on Facebook,
right?
Where it's like best vines, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my friends, like, it showed that they liked the video from one of those pages, and so I clicked on it to look at the comments, and like, it showed me like the first 50 comments, and all of those comments were still in the context of them like not having any clue that it was fake. You know what I mean? Man. They're all like, "Oh my god, this white girl should not be twerking," like,
Yeah.
That was. I apologize for my implied tones, but I'm a sociologist, so fuck it, I can do that shit. it was just hilarious that people were still just
they
full on believed and bought into it still, even after we know it's fake.
Yeah, I think I think Kimmel did a really good job.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really funny. It's just like on a random ass, you know, YouTube account, and it's just like one video, and it's and it's just like you just think it looks like, you know, some random person who just decided to upload that video just because it's just so funny.
Yeah.
But no, it's set up by Jimmy Kimmel himself.
Yeah.
So, wow, that was really cool and funny of him to do that.
Yeah.
And
So fun.
yeah, it was really funny. Like, and a lot of people were saying, yeah, like even before, a lot of people were saying it was fake. You know, just there's always two sides to it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
people who say it's real, who say it's fake. You know, and then like, I didn't really like care for it. You know, because it's just like because I've seen so many other videos of girls dancing around and fucking like falling over and shit and like failing so much. So I didn't really care for it until the fact that Jimmy Kimmel was the one who set it up.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fucking shit. And how many views does that video have?
I think it's got like
like 9
more than
million.
yeah, it's got a lot. It's got
Like
more
a
than a
no-
million. Like
More than 5 million.
I think, yeah, I'm
Definitely.
pretty sure.
And then and then they have the whole and then they upload the director's cut, I guess. And so right after when she was lit on fire, like Jimmy Kimmel just busts in with a fire extinguisher
And puts it out.
and puts her out, and then he just like gives a thumbs up to the camera. It's like, oh my god, that's really funny. That was great.
It's hilarious.
It's gold.
If you've not seen the director's cut, if you will, you got to go watch it.
Yeah, it's just so funny of how it all just like played out. Like
It's like perfect.
it's
the
just,
best
yeah,
way to describe
it was
it.
perfect. Yeah, a lot of people bought it, and like it's just amazing how many people were tricked by this man.
It's like straight up gold.
Yeah, I know, right? I always love Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, he definitely for me is like one of the he's one of my most favorite like celebrities out there. Especially from the Man Show. Have you watched the Man Show?
Yeah.
I remember watching it with my dad. It was like so funny, and I was like what, in middle school? So like, yeah, those were memories. And yeah, definitely. And then of course Adam Carolla is up there too with Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah.
Freaking Adam Carolla.
Oh man.
Him and Dr. Drew, Loveline, man.
Oh dude, Love
Love
Line.
Line.
Oh, that was the shit, man.
I used to stay up, and I have like a Sony, like portable. I wouldn't really call it a boombox because it's not like it's only got one speaker in it, but it's like a little Sony portable radio pretty much with a tape deck. And so I would stay up, and I would record Loveline onto cassette.
Those are the days.
It was freaking awesome. So that way, if I fell asleep, you know, it would just go until the tape ran out of space.
Yeah.
So that way I could wake up and listen to Loveline on my cassette. I was a badass.
Dude, fucking cassette, man. That was like the only like radio show that I was actually dedicated to it, you know? And then years later, Adam Carolla decided to like take his leave, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Drew's still on there, but like there's been various hosts, and they definitely don't live up to Carolla's like reputation. He's so awesome as a host of anything, and yeah, he's such he brings up really good conversations. So yeah, he's definitely, and then he's also like a car enthusiast, so definitely fucking cool. He knows his cars, and it was really a shame when the American Top Gear came out on, you know, the History Channel, and Carolla was offered this, you know, role as a host, but he declined it because he was working on a pilot for a TV show on whatever channel, like I think either ABC or NBC.
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't go through, So, yeah, that was kind of a waste, and definitely the American Top Gear is inferior to the UK version.
Hands down.
Yeah, hands down.
Gosh. Now I'm just gonna think about how much better it would be with Adam Carolla.
Right? Like, it's just three guys that you don't even know. Well, except for Tanner Faust. I know Tanner Faust.
I know him. Okay, I know him, and I like him being on there.
Yeah.
And then there's the guy with the beard and the glasses.
Yeah.
I like him. And then there's the, like, New Yorker-ish kind of guy.
Like Adam Broden or something?
I think, is that his name?
Adam something, I know that.
The skinny, like, New Yorker.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. Sorry, you gotta bounce, dude. You're a schmuck. Just get you out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy with the glasses I'm okay with. He's a good host. But yeah, the other guys, like, he's just trying to. He definitely tries too hard.
Yeah.
And he instead puts up a character from a cartoon or something.
Yeah.
That's like how I see him. That's definitely a waste of space when it comes to the three hosts. I definitely like Tanner Faust because he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He fucking races cars for a living.
Yeah.
He drifts too, so that's pretty cool. And I don't know about the guy in the glasses, but he seems to has a good personality. So
he's got a good personality, and he seems educated. Like, in it,
Yeah.
And like, if he doesn't know something, he won't say anything. Whereas I feel like the other guy will just fucking run his mouth all day. Like,
yeah.
If you give him the chance.
And he has that accent too, so he's trying to like
really capitalize on it.
Yeah.
It bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah, it really does. Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess we can bring up about the Olympics that are going to happen in Tokyo in 2020. So, Corey, any thoughts about it?
It's exciting, honestly, for somebody who loves Japan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that, see that happen,
Is it the summer or winter Olympics?
Pretty sure it's the summer.
Yeah, summer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's summer. Because 08, 12, 16, 20, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know, but for me, alright, because I work for the Disney company.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, really weird. So the Disney company doesn't own the property that the theme park in Tokyo is on. So I can't get into that park for free.
Shit.
But if I go to Shanghai or Hong Kong, I can get into the theme parks in China for free. I can get into Paris for free. I can get into Disney World for free.
That's really cool.
But I can't get in Tokyo for free. So I'm hoping that there are some Disney-owned hotels over there. And I could, I wouldn't even care if I didn't see a single Olympic event. But if I was able to go over there and then, stay in a Disney hotel at, a really nice discounted rate. And then just go to the Olympic Village where, all the Olympians hang out. That would be cool to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because then that's where they do, all the Olympic... that's where they basically set up, shops to sell all the Olympic crap.
Yeah.
Is there. So, to me, that would be cool. To just be there and be Olympic pins and crap. I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely excited.
It's really fucking cool. And the upcoming one is in Russia, is it? Or
I think so. It's something weird.
I forgot the name of the city. Jesus. And it's for winter. Oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh, it's starts.
Where are the Olympic winter sports being held? I just don't feel like typing. Shut up.
It's okay. It's alright. Series being used.
What the hell is this?
Series being used.
2016 Olympics. Okay. Wait, do I want? What is? God damn it. Okay. Oh, I know, because I kept talking.
It caught your other words.
Where are the 2016 Olympics being held? Brazil. 2016. So, we've got where are the 2014 Olympics being held? Okay. Where are the 2014 Olympics being held? Russia. Yeah, so you're right.
But which
Sochi.
So
I don't know if that's how you say it.
yeah, it starts with an S. I know
Starts with
that.
an S.
Let me see.
So
Oh, Sochi, probably Sochi.
Sochi, I don't know.
Yeah.
Those Russians.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. If it, I think it's summer for the Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah.
In 2020, but oh man, that could be serious because it could be really fucking hot. It's a fucking monsoon over there when it comes to, when it's summer.
God, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I've been there.
It's really it gets pretty intense. It gets really humid, and in addition to that, like when you're in the city, like all the exhaust from the air conditioners, like add in the heat.
That's true.
So like yeah, especially in an urban environment, it's gonna be really fucking hot during summer in Tokyo, and I don't know where it's gonna go in 2020. So that's 7 years later. So like, holy fucking shit! And especially right like every year, pretty much like in the recent years, it's been getting hotter and hotter. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. So is it really gonna get hotter and hotter, or like it's just gonna stop? I just hope it just stops at one point, and it wouldn't be like too hot for the Olympians, especially like the runners and all that and all those people.
Oh Lord, man.
Yeah, and all the track and field events. Hopefully that won't be too intense. Just because of the heat, man. Oh man, if you haven't been in monsoon weather.
It's disgusting.
It is pretty disgusting.
That's the best way to describe it. It's disgusting.
It's like you're like when you're in that kind of weather, you're always sticky.
Yep.
Like you can't like no matter how much you wipe off, it comes back.
Yeah.
It's really fucking disgusting.
Yeah. And then you get on like public transportation, and then that like even if air conditioning is on public transportation, like everybody else is still like sticky, and then that's like in the air, and then
the body odor kicks up.
It's just fucking disgusting.
Yeah, the body heat and shit. You just feel especially when you're in public transportation in a subway, you feel other people's body heat and shit. And
it's gross. It's so gross. God, it reminds. I was at work this past weekend, and it was terrible. It was so humid on Sunday.
Oh really?
That I walked outside. I was not sweating at all. But my shirt felt like I could feel hot, damp, like air in my shirt already. You know what I mean? Like I like reached down to like get something out of my pocket, and I felt my shirt, and I was like, "Are you fist fucking me right now?" Like, oh, God damn it!
Oh, Corey's getting a phone call. Anyways, as we were interrupted by a phone call, we were talking about Japan and its heat, and then you were talking about your experience at Disneyland.
Yeah, it was so freaking humid over the weekend.
Yeah,
like it was disgusting.
Did you actually do your job this time?
Yeah. We so, started like real training now and everything. So
how was that?
It's a lot of fun. Okay, Okay, yeah, I can talk about this because other people. It's very touchy what I can and can't share about like working there. But I witnessed a proposal, actually, which was really cool. I'm actually kind of jealous that I wasn't the one who got to photograph it, if you will. But because my job's pretty simple. It's not like super complicated at all. Like there are some stuff that you have to specifically learn and some guidelines and things that you have to follow.
Right.
I'm a photographer for the resorts. And so basically, so all like Saturday was like our first day, like walking around with cameras, taking pictures, and everything. Really getting familiar with what the guidelines are. And Sunday, we actually got to take pictures of guests, which was really cool. And then at the end of the day, for like the last hour of our training shift, our trainer was like, okay, let's pick a location, and I'm going to have you guys just go out there and shoot pictures of guests. So it was me and one other person. He's like my training partner, and then our trainer. So we're out there, and I was so up in front of the castle, and I was like, all of a sudden, like I look over. I just finished taking pictures for a family.
Right.
And I look over, and I'm like, No way. Damn, I was so upset that he got to shoot it, and I didn't. So upset. I guess I could have taken more pictures for them, and just put them on another card for them. Like that's what we do, like photo pass cards.
Yeah.
I could have done that, but I wasn't like. I don't know.
Thinking?
I was too nervous to. I don't know if I was allowed to. If we're gonna be honest.
Yep. Stuff like that happens. So wait. So you take pictures in front of of what?
Like
like
basically
everywhere?
not everywhere.
Yeah.
Per se, but basically everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Like on Main Street, in front of the castle with characters.
Right.
Things like that.
Mm. And also stations in California, right?
Yeah. In California Adventure, same thing.
California Adventures.
Like on Buena Vista Street in California Adventure, over by like the Tower of Terror and like Paradise Pier and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool.
All right. Are you allowed to talk about how much you get paid?
I guess so. I make about $11 an hour.
All right.
So it's pretty
good.
It's pretty good. It's worthwhile. Which kind of brings up an interesting point that I read today that the governors are trying to push like raising minimum wage in the state to $10.
What?
Which would be really interesting to see what happens to like those of us who have
jobs and who don't.
Yeah. Like especially for those who have a job where your current rate is above what would be the new minimum. Like it makes me wonder if companies will adjust their rates, their pay rates for people.
Right.
So that it like balances out. Otherwise, like it kind of just creates like
more problems.
A shitstorm is the best way I can think of it.
Pretty much.
Like, like no disrespect really meant by this comment, but if you're working at McDonald's and you're making your $8 an hour minimum wage, right? Just working the drive-through window. And I'm making what I make, which is more, and I'm, I feel like it's kind of deserved because I'm doing something a little bit more creative.
Yeah, you're using your head more.
And I'm really kind of thinking here.
Yeah.
But then if the minimum wage gets bumped to 10, and now the drive-through worker's almost making as much as I do.
Dude,
like,
man.
my shit better get bumped too. That's kind of how I'm feeling.
Fucking man. But not only that, but like, what happens when you raise the wage is a lot of companies are going to have to be forced to lay off a lot of the workers.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to afford them anymore.
Yeah, so like...
I mean, unless the government's going to be like, oh, here's like $250,000 from us to help you pay off, your extra workers, which is not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Very most unlikely.
Yeah.
So if that goes through, then that means, we're going to have more people with no jobs.
Yeah, it's just going to be...
It's just going to be disastrous.
Really
like,
crappy.
Overall. Like, I mean... Sure, like, for the people who have jobs and have the experience and who are lucky, sure, it's, good for them. But, like, the majority is going to be people who are going to be laid off or who will never have a job, in the future. So, or at least, like, for a long time. So this is going to be a huge problem if the minimum wage is going to get raised overall. So... I don't think raising up that would help at all with our dilemma.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. It's like I saw a couple of weeks ago on the East Coast that fast food workers wanted to change their minimum salary to they were protesting for $15 an hour.
What the fuck?
And I was like, no, bitch. If you want a job where you get paid fucking $15 an hour,
then get a fucking better job.
Get a fucking upgraded job.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna tell me that education is stopping you, fine. Work for your pay at the McDonald's and then go take some night classes at the community college, because there is no shame in doing that at all.
No.
Get to the point where you earn your associate's degree or you get a certificate program or something, and then go get a job where you can make your $15 an hour. That's what you fucking want, okay?
Yeah.
Like, because, sorry, that's bullshit. I have 2 college degrees and I don't make $15 an hour. I mean, if I wanted to, go open up a photography studio, I could make a shit ton more than $15 an hour, but we're not going to go down that road because I don't have the time for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, I'm still in college, trying to work on my degree because I switched majors here and there, and also I've trying to work on or try to get extra credit with some theater stuff because I want to become a voice actor, but that's a different topic. But anyways, if you basically if you want more money, you gotta study and read them books and just
you gotta put in the fucking hard work.
You gotta put in work to it. You can't just protest your fucking way and complain and whine and cry and plea for $15 an hour.
That's not how it works,
Especially at a fast food establishment. So or just like at any other restaurant or whatever, or odd jobs or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of like I spent most of the day looking at my family history, right? And I traced back on my dad's side, my grandpa's dad was an Irish immigrant.
Right.
He came to this country with $17 in his pocket. So fuck you guys and your $15 an hour. If he could travel to America from Ireland with $17 and make that shit work, and he got a job as a farmer, worked as a farmer. He bought a house and a farm shortly after getting to the country on $17. Yeah, don't complain about your $8 an hour because you work one day, you're gonna make more money than he had in one day. And I understand inflation, so fuck all you smart asses. You think, inflation, blah blah blah. You're gonna make more in a week. You'll make the inflated $17 from 1906 in a week, so don't worry. You'll be okay. All right, you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, fantastic! Chris Humphries auctioning off Kim Kardashian's giant engagement ring. Wow, what a surprise!
Okay.
All right. Oh, there's an article about the iPhone 5s against the Galaxy S4.
Oh yeah, I looked at that earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We can take a look at this. Let's see. All right. So for those who don't know, the 5S is gonna have the A7, 64, which is a 64-bit chip, and it's gonna come with iOS 7, and let's see more. Unlikely will equip the. Okay, it says likely uses 2 gigs of RAM. And let's see. And then the GS4 uses the Snapdragon. It's a quad core, and it clocks at 1.9 gigahertz and uses 2 gigs of RAM. So and it says that this one, the GS4 is the more solid phone when it comes to the chip department. Let's see.
But that 64-bit architecture, though. It's so hard to beat.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, of course the 5S is gonna come. It's gonna have a aluminum build, and the GS4 is not exactly metallic. It does have some metal around it. Some metal. It's mostly plastic, which not a huge deal for me, but it is nice to have a much more metallic phone with actual metal, not the paint or whatever. Let's see. When it comes to display, the 5S is gonna have the 4-inch Retina still, and then the GS4 has the 5-inch. And it seems that the GS4 has much better resolution and more pixels per inch.
Okay, but okay, we're looking at a graphic right now. If you're zooming in that far, though, you are fucking blind. Let me just point that out, just real quick.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of a bad example. And okay, so and then they both have the hardware home button, so it's not like a touch button or like a touch activated home button.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of when I first got my my Galaxy S4, I really thought that was weird that they go back to the hardware button instead of the touch button. I really like that. But I don't know. I've gotten used to it, but it would be nice if it's touch activated. But I believe the iPhone has that as well. The hardware home button. Special features. They both have voice assistants, and let's see, they both have some kind of backup system or a cloud system. Copycat, that's funny. Apple has that Touch ID fingerprint feature on, so that you can use your fingerprint to open the lock, which is really fucking cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, one of the selling points of the Galaxy S4 is the air gesture, air touch. I think it's really cool. The way they pulled off the no touching your phone thing is really cool, and like you can like flip pictures just by like waving your hand and shit, and like scroll through, and it's really neat. And like I love how you can now I love how now it comes with a screen capture thing where you just swipe your hand over and it just takes a picture. It's really cool.
Yeah, that is. I remember original Android phones, like when you wanted to do screen capture, you had to download some shit for your computer.
You had to
root your phone.
Root your phone.
It had to be connected to your computer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, I remember they couldn't do that for the S2, and you had to get it rooted and all that shit. It was just like, wow, really. But on the GS4 is all that's gone. So you can screen capture legitly. It's a stock application. You can actually just do that. With the hand gesture. You just use your side of your hand. You just swipe it over that screen, and it just take a nice picture of your home screen. It's really cool. Okay, this is one of the big, huge selling points. The camera.
Freaking Apple cameras are just amazing.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, they're pretty top notch. But the GS4 definitely really has a nice camera as well. Especially jumping from the S2 to the S4, you can really see the difference. And it does have that feature where it automatically focuses onto a point, so you don't have to touch the screen. You can, but it's just an option, and you just let the phone actually focus it by itself, and it's really cool. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. The 5S, didn't the 5S had I forgot what the aperture was or something.
It's a f2.2, which is very good.
Yeah, that's like
it's amazing.
It's like DSLR status, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many megapixels? Let's see.
It's an 8 megapixel sensor, but they improved the sensor.
Yeah, like the other sensors. Yeah, so they're bigger pixels. There's 8 megapixels, but they're bigger pixels, which they're much better
pictures.
Those pixels are much better quality than your ordinary 8 pixel. Let's say digital camera. Yeah. I just want to say this out there, like a lot of the marketing schemes when it comes to cameras is that they show the megapixels.
Yeah.
And let me just say something about megapixels. And for those who don't know, it's just like the amount of squares or little pixels per, area,
Yeah.
and then you might see them as DPI or PPI on your scanner or whatever. It's just basically is how many dots or pixels can you fit in this one little area, and those pixels can sometimes be blurry or fucking crappy. So you can have like 100 megapixels, but if your camera that can't focus for shit, or like you kind of move a bit, or like it doesn't have like a nice light sensor,
Yeah.
your picture's gonna look awful.
Yeah.
So
It'll still be shit.
yeah,
Like,
you can have you can have an 8 megapixel camera, but you have pictures that look like you taken with, like, let's say a Canon 60D.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how you set up your camera, during times during the time settings, such as like during daytime or nighttime. Nighttime is usually much harder to capture nice pictures.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, very tricky.
Yeah, random fact, like, for you megapixel whores, stop being ass clowns, because billboards, like, 8 megapixels maybe, so, like, for people who are like, oh, well, that Nokia phone's got fucking 20 or 40 megapixels or whatever it has.
That's exactly what I'm trying to
That's
point out.
just, those are numbers. It's like he said, it's a marketing selling strategy.
Yeah.
People think that more is better. It's not necessarily true, like he said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I own a DSLR. Yeah, I've got a lot of megapixels. That's just what the camera came with. If I seriously considered just buying an older camera that was 8 megapixels, but it came out in, like, 2004, because that camera from 2004 with 8 megapixels is still going to take better pictures than, like, your 20,000 megapixel fucking Nokia Lumia or whatever, or Sony whatever phone it is,
It's just a matter of how your camera is able to handle those pixels, and if you don't know what you're doing with, like, your aperture and your shutter speed, your pictures aren't gonna exactly come out how you want them to. So
yeah,
you gotta look at those too, like how it's supposed to handle the fucking light, and how the blur is handled, and whether it has a nice image stabilizer. That's another huge thing when it comes to cameras. If it has a very nice anti-shake or image stabilizer, that should be the huge selling point, because like as I said before, you can have a whole bunch of megapixels, but if you have a crappy stabilizer, your pictures are gonna look blurry, and you have no fucking idea what's going on, and it's gonna look like those crappy pictures that you see on people's Facebooks when they're trying to do like a selfie or something, and they're like, they can't fucking sit still when they're at a party, you know what I mean? So like, like when it comes to looking at a camera, looking at a phone with a camera, you can't just look at megapixels. You gotta look at how it's gonna handle the pictures such as those, like stabilizer, how it handles the light, and how fast can it actually take the picture, like you can't just look at megapixels. It's kind of like how people when it comes to cars too, they like market the horsepower so much.
Yeah.
It's like you have, let's say, 500 horsepower, but like if you don't have the torque, you're not gonna get up there.
Yeah, you don't have torque, and if you don't have decent like traction control,
right,
everything else, like, okay,
yeah,
all right, it's still not impressive.
if you have like a pretty fucking crappy drive system, then it's not gonna you're not gonna have 500 horsepower. Trust me.
Yeah.
So pretty much when it comes to cameras, please stop fucking saying just about megapixels. It's just one of those very annoying things that I hear when it comes to cameras.
Your argument is invalid.
Yeah.
It's the best way to put it.
Yeah. It's like, I have fucking 50 megapixels in my little, nice smartphone.
Oh yeah,
It's like, oh,
that's cool.
That's cool. You can take big ass fucking pictures, but yeah, they're gonna look like crap. All right, so I think move on from that. Let's see, iOS 7. We got the Jello Bean. All right, so we got the battery. That's another important point. Let's see. It says 5S should be good for 10 hours. And wait, hold on. Oh, okay, when it comes to okay, 10 hours when you're well, this is kind of worded weird. 10 hours when you're talking, I guess, and then 250 hours on standby. And then when it comes to the GS4, let's see. Time talk is 17 hours and standby time is 300 hours. So, okay, so I guess the GS4 wins in that department. When it comes to the battery too. But yeah, I don't know. I think the 5S is gonna be a lot more solid.
Yeah, I think it'll really give people what they're looking for. If you're looking for a top-notch smartphone and you're already invested in the Apple architecture, it's a good way to go.
You'll pick up much better traction than before.
Yeah.
And there's the 5C. So for those who want to start in the world of smartphones, I think the 5S is an ideal device to get yourself started, because it's cheaper, it has enough features, and it's not gonna be overwhelming. So
yeah,
and it comes with nice colors, I guess, for those people.
Yeah.
So if you're into that kind of thing, but let's see.
I would say the coolest thing that Apple's doing was with any new iOS device that you buy, that's an interesting point to also think about, if it's just going to be, I think it's any new device shipping with iOS 7. Right, so basically, as of right now, the 5S and the 5C, those two devices, when you buy them, you have access to iWork for free now. So instead of having to pay for Pages, Keynote, Numbers, iMovie, iPhoto on your iPhone, they're basically being included for free as part of iOS 7 pretty much at that point, which is pretty cool to me. I think that is pretty awesome. I can't remember if GarageBand was a part of it or not on the iOS platform, but because that right there alone saves you like $30-$40 worth of apps that are definitely really good apps.
Yeah,
to have if you have an iOS device. Like, I have Pages on my iPad, and I love it. It's worked great for me. And yeah, I've seen the Windows Surface commercials and whatnot, and they're all like, "Oh, I can't do that shit." Well, it's whatever. If you're invested in Windows 8, cool. But if you're willing to try something out, Pages is awesome. It really does you can really do a lot with it on an iPad.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring this up. We're recording on September 11th, by the way. So, which is like, it's been 12 years since that terrifying event where the terrorists pretty much brought down the Twin Towers in New York, and also attacked the Pentagon.
Pentagon, and then also
there's also another one in
the flight that went down in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. Yeah, it was a pretty dramatic day. I remember it was like our first day in 6th grade, right? Was it?
Was it our? I don't remember if it was our first day. It was definitely the first week. I want to
first
say.
week, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, of middle school.
Yeah.
We were in 6th grade at the time. That's crazy.
6th grade, yeah, it's crazy.
Holy fucking shit! We're just kind of like, holy shit! Like I can sort of remember like it was yesterday. Like we're just kind of like talking about like, dude, did you see that? Like like.
Yeah, I remember watching. Watching the news.
Yeah.
With my mom, my mom woke me up and she was like, "Come here, you gotta watch, you gotta see this, you gotta watch this." You know, I go into my parents' room, watching TV with my mom, sitting on the edge of their bed, just glued to the TV.
Yeah.
Before I had to go to school, and then going to school, and it was nuts. It was
really nuts. Like, especially like when they actually catch someone on camera of someone falling from the building. It was very intense. It was for those who are kind of new to this September 11th thing. It was a really intense experience of how it just played out, and actually it can happen, and a lot of people died. It was like at least 2,000 people, and that included many of the NYFD, the fire department of New York. They put their lives on the line, and many of them lost them, saving the people, or at least trying to save the people during this attack. And it was really it's one of those events that it's permanently glued into the in the pages of American history.
Yeah.
And it pretty much kicked off the whole, United We Stand quote when it comes to Americans, and it's been with us since. And it's like, oh man, it's just looking back on it, it's just so crazy,
Yeah, it's hard to put it into words, like when you think about it, like you get kind of like flooded in, just kind of remembering everything and whatnot, and it's crazy, like you think about it, and like just how much was lost in that, and like I read a story about like earlier today about like rescue animals, and that helped locate people and everything. And so like, it's crazy, like this didn't just affect like American people, this affected like American everything.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
This was big around the world too. It wasn't just a thing with Americans. Everyone tuned in to what happened. It was pretty much the biggest news in the Millennium era, And if you want it, like it was pretty much like Pearl Harbor, but worse, pretty much. Yeah, like I said before, over 2,000 people died. It's just so. It was so horrific, and it was like the first like huge terrorist attack, and from there you see all these like bombings, and I kind of this one was like the whole like just like kicked off this whole like thing about suicide bombings and other terrorist attacks, and like other things that terrorists did, like shooting hostages on camera, while they're sitting on chairs strapped, and with like cloths over their head, that kind of thing, and like, and there's that thing with Osama bin Laden. Yeah, so, and it also kicked off a lot of conspiracies, man, and people have been saying it's an inside job, and then like people are saying like, oh, this is just staged by the government, and this was used as an excuse to go have a war with Iraq, and then we get so that we can get their resources and oil and all that stuff. It was crazy, man. It wasn't just like the attack itself, but also like the things around it too.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I don't believe in those conspiracy theories, especially that documentary called Loose Change, and that was like the big one where it explains that this whole thing is an inside job, is a conspiracy, that government set it up, and the Twin Towers were actually were demolished in a controlled manner. Blah 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 blah. Just oh god, yeah. A lot of controversy surrounded that, and there's that whole thing with George W. Bush and how he became a horrible president after that. Just a lot of things kicked up after that. It was that big,
Yeah.
It was such a huge thing. It definitely is one of those events like the Revolutionary War and Pearl Harbor and then we got Pearl Harbor and all that stuff. And of course, we give our condolences to those who lost their lives on that very day, and the people around them who love them, and friends, family, all their loved ones. You have our deepest condolences.
Yes.
I think we can end it on that note for this tonight's podcast. Happy Patriots Day, and hope everyone has a good rest of the week. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in on this podcast on the 7th episode of the H-525 podcast with me and Corey.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right, take care.